Hello, everyone. Well, this was the week that the starting gun was finally fired on the independence campaign for the 19th October next year, 19th October 2023. That's the promised date from Nicola Sturgeon for our next referendum. First thing to say, now that the independence campaign has started again, then Alba has to be up and running and contributing as a political party, as the party which puts independence first and foremost and sees it as an immediate priority. And that's why we'll be out campaigning with a new leaflet this weekend. And also next weekend, there'll be a series of new We Alba book meetings. Been so highly successful all around Scotland. And the meetings will be in the Borders and St Andrews and in Glasgow next Saturday. So come along if you can, because these meetings are very important to show that we've got the answers to all the questions about independence. In terms of what we're undergoing now, the 3 points in Nicola Sturgeon's strategy. Her first point, that she should ask for a Section 30 from Boris Johnson. Well, we agree with that. But we also think there has to be a grassroots and a parliamentary and a diplomatic campaign to bend Boris Johnson to Scotland's will. Of course, he'll say no to Nicola Sturgeon's letter. That's to be expected. But why not make him? Because this is a weak Prime Minister in a perilous position. I mean, I saw this week that the barristers in London are joining forces with the rail workers protesting against Boris Johnson. So let's make sure we've got a grassroots campaign in Scotland to demand Scotland's right of a referendum. And let's make sure our parliamentarians, that's the Alba ones, but the SNP ones, over 40 of them, they'll start using the sort of parliamentary tactics that Charles Stewart Parnell used back in the 19th century. Now let's force Scotland's will in Westminster. We mustn't give up on the opportunity to bend this weak Prime Minister to the will of Scotland. The second initiative, that's to take the case and ask for permission from the Supreme Court. I must say I'm pretty sceptical. I don't think we should leave the sovereignty of Scotland to the tender mercies of the Supreme Court. I'd call that something of a Hail Mary initiative. It's very difficult to see a Supreme Court going to grant Scotland's submission. I mean, the place for Scotland's sovereignty to be preserved is in the Scottish Parliament, by people elected to do that job, not a 2 minutes walk across Parliament Square in the Guildhall. I think I'd be sceptical to see any returns from getting your case to the Supreme Court of the United Kingdom. Thirdly, the idea of a plebiscite election. Now, I think that's got merit, but we've got to remember that after a bit of confusion, there's an incredibly high bar being set for this, over 50% of the vote, not just 50% of the seats. And that's only been achieved in Scotland in 1955. And even then, the Tories were working in alliance with the National Liberals. The SNP just missed it in the peak year of 2015. Even Labour in 1966 just missed it by a whisker. So that's an extraordinarily high bar to set. And if you're having something like a plebiscite election, then you can't just fight it as a normally party political contest. For any chance of getting over the 50%, you would have to fight it as Scotland United, with all the forces of independence getting behind a single candidate in the variety of seats. That's the only way I can see it. It could be done successfully. Now, certainly Alba will put our shoulders to the wheel. We'll be at the forefront of the independence campaign. That's what we were formed to do, and that's what we intend to do. So if your blood is getting up, if your heart is racing that bit faster after hearing that it's game on from this week onwards, then the thing to do is join Alba and join with us and push independence forward.